Hello everyone, today it's Frusciante time. What do I mean by that? I've got my beanie hat, I've got my flannel shirt, I've got my beard nice and untrimmed. So we're going to talk today about my favourite guitarist, John Frusciante, and one of his new pedals that he uses with his, it's not really new now, but since Unlimited Love came out, he started experimenting with some new overdrive pedals, and particularly this one. So this is the Boss SD-1, and it's a pedal that he started using, I think 2022 or 21, whenever they made the album, and he started experimenting with lower gain overdrive sounds. So the question is, why didn't he use something like a tube screamer? So, you know, we normally associate overdrive or light overdrive with a tube screamer. So the question that I thought was, well, why doesn't he use one of those? And luckily, a friend of mine gave me some tube screamers, and I've already made a video on this, trying different tube screamers, and in that pile, he had one of these he lent me, the SD-1, and I was like, wow, I've not played one of these before, because I'm not really an overdrive player, but I know that my hero, Frusciante, has started using one. To cover that area, and after playing the tube screamers and then playing this, the SD-1, I now get why he doesn't play a tube screamer. So in today's video I thought I'd play along to two examples on the Unlimited Love album, demonstrating his use of SD-1, and then maybe talk about why he doesn't use a tube screamer. Why does he use this? Anyway, so let's move on and let's get to my pedal board, and I'll show you exactly where it's going to go and what pedals I'm going to use it with. Okay, and then we'll play the first song from that album. We'll just play the chorus and solo. We'll play Black Summer. Okay, so see you at my pedal board. Here's my pedal board. I'm putting the SD-1, as you can see, right here at the front. So we're going to come from my lovely made in Mexico 50s style Strat, which has been modified. I've got Seymour Duncan SSL1s here and an SSL5. We're going to come out the guitar. Tune is always the first pedal. It's acts as like a dead switch, so when you're not playing you can mute everything. And we're coming straight out of here into the SD-1. So the first step is overdrive, and then when we pair it with other pedals, we're basically going to be pairing it to the distortion and fuzz section. So after the SD-1, much like John Frusciante, we'll be going into the Boss DS2, and then I can run the SD-1 with the DS2 or the SD-1 with the fuzz pedal. So my fuzz of choice is the Fux Fuzz from Tone City, and I like this because, for me at least, when I pair this with the DS2, you can get that violin Californication era sort of guitar solo tone. And obviously you can have all three together, which sounds quite nice. I have spent some time playing these pedals before recording just to get some sound settings. Okay, so the settings I'm going to run are level. Oh, I love this pedal because it's so simple as well. Level 3 o'clock. The drive is just at 12 o'clock at the top. No more, no little. And same with the tone. This pedal is just set to 12 o'clock and it sounds great. Okay, the DS2, I've got the distortion at 3 o'clock, the tone at 3 o'clock, but the level all the way up. The Fux Fuzz, we've got the volume all the way up. We're not in the crazy mode. We've got the tone below 9 o'clock. About at 9 o'clock, it starts to go bright. So I found, as I was turning the knob and playing, below 9 o'clock, it started to darken up and match kind of the tone of these two. So that's where I've got that. It's very sensitive. And the fuzz I run at 3 o'clock. When you're stacking pedals together, you don't want everything, well, I found you don't want everything flat out. Okay? So that's that tone. That's the overdrive, a distortion, and a fuzz. The three solo tones, yeah? You can have one at a time, two at on, two at a time, or all three. After that, we go into my WH10 wah. So this is a very Frusciante style board. We've got the Tone City Summer Orange Phase 90 sort of pedal. I probably won't be using that, and I probably won't be using the rest of these, yeah? But for your benefit, we go from the phaser pedal to the glorious Line 6 FM4 filter modulator. I've got buttons, so I know that purple one is the throw away your television colour mode. It's closer to the drive sections, so I can get to it quicker. We've got the DD3 delay from Boss. I've got this set to helicopter multiple repeat mode, so it's like a stutter, like Johnny Greenwood style stuff. Then we've got the Sky Surfer for reverb from TC Electronic, and then we've got the Boss Super Chorus doing the Frusciante chorus thing, and then we're coming out of the mono channel and going into the Boss Katana. And then I've got a new sound setting I use, which I can't remember. For the Frusciante sound, I can't remember if it's the crunch section or if it's the what's the other one called? You got crunch and you got lead. I can't remember which one I'm on. I used to use the brown sound and turn the gain off, but now I've found I get more volume and a bit cleaner if I go for the crunch or the lead mode. But it still allows the DS2 and the wah to behave themselves. And by that I mean the DS2 and the wah doesn't jump up in volume, which is very, very annoying when you're live. But it's key for the Frusciante sound to make sure these two behave themselves. So, then Katana into interface. Right, that was the pedal board. That's the setup. They're the settings of the SD-1. The first example we're going to do is going to be Black Summer. Now, John Frusciante uses the SD-1 for the chorus, and then when it comes to the guitar solo, he hits on the SD-1, he leaves it on, and he hits, he's got a fuzz pedal, Variac badass, super badass fuzz from MXR. I don't have that, I've got the Fux fuzz, so it'll sound slightly different, well, a lot different to what he uses, but essentially it's SD-1 for overdrive rhythm and crack on a fuzz to give the solo tone. So that's what we're going to do next, okay? So what you're going to hear next is the chorus and guitar solo from Black Summer. So enjoy.
It's been a long time since I made a new band, waiting on another Black Summer to win. It's been a long time and you never know when, waiting on another Black Summer to win.
That was the Black Summer solo. For the chorus, I use the SD-1 on its own. I get my dirty clean sound from the amp and I combine it with the SD-1. I know in the song, for the verses and the intro, he uses the chorus pedal, like I have here. But for the guitar solo, it sounds to me like he doesn't. So for this demonstration, I just left the chorus off. When he plays live, he leaves it on all throughout the song. But in the recording, it sounds to me like he doesn't have it. So I just left the chorus off so you can hear. The SD-1 for the chorus, and then for the solo, I kept the SD-1 on and I turn on the Fux fuzz. I don't have an MXR badass fuzz, so this one has to do. Also, I don't play solos note for note like the originals. It's not my thing. So I tried to do something in the flavour of the solo, so you get the low parts and then the high parts towards the end, then the arpeggio things he does as well, stuff like that. Anyway, that was Black Summer. So another song that the Frusciante uses, the SD-1 on, is It's Only Natural, and it's a beautiful song on the album. And when he plays it live, you can hear that there are three guitar solo parts. There's a short one, and then slightly longer, it goes on for twice as many bars, and then at the end it's an outro solo. So what I'm going to try and do to show the SD-1 is to play that song but in the style of the live version. So we're going to play a mini short first solo. I'll have the just the SD-1, and we'll play some arpeggio parts, so like when he's doing the stuff like that, and then for the second solo I'm going to have just the SD-1 again, but it's more going to be up here, Frusciante style sort licks. But then for the outro solo, you're going to hear me turn on the SD-1 and the DS2, and then at the end of that, possibly the Fuchs Fuzz. I might turn it on if I feel like it. You'll hear when it's on because it will do that gated, snarly sort of sound. And then yeah, so that's where he also uses it. So in the solos I can see when he'd want to do like a minimal sort of quiet solo, he could have just put on his micro amp like he does on Californication, but the rest of the band aren't playing as strongly either. So in Californication, for example, when he plays the minimal solo, you know, no distortion, Flea's doing a lot of bass work in the background, yeah? So it fills it out, so he can cut through with a minimal solo. For It's Only Natural, I feel like it doesn't have the same effect, so he needs something a bit more. And you can tell, just like with the choruses on Black Summer, if he used the DS2, it would be too much. So the SD-1 is sort of a balance between the micro amp being like a clean, just a boosted solo, and the super mad distortion, yeah, or the crazy fuzz boxes he has. So I can see why he wants the SD-1. It's kind of in the middle, and I've been enjoying it. I've enjoyed playing this, and that's kind of what I would love to do. Usually on my pedal board, I don't know if I've got it here to hand. So instead of where that SD-1 is, no, I've hidden the pedal. It's hidden somewhere. I've got my compressor, CS2, but that's a compressor. I'm really happy with this SD-1. I think I might be purchasing one to put on my board. So here comes the question about tube screamers, got it on the brain. Tube screamers. So why doesn't John use a tube screamer? I mean, it's probably the association. With tube screamers, you have this association with John Mayer or Stevie Ray Vaughan, and you stack them, okay? So you use like a Keeley compressor or Katana or something. You have something just to boost the signal. And then it's like for John Mayer, for example, will stick on his TS9 or TS10, whatever he's got, his tube screamer, then into a clon, and then another tube screamer. So for his slightly overdriven sound, yeah, for his solos, he's clicking on 4 pedals, yeah? John Frusciante does a similar thing, but with distortions and fuzz. He's got his he's got 2 DS2s, and not right, and sometimes with an FZ1 he swaps those, the fuzz right, not fuzz right, whatever they're called, and his big muff, and the MXR badass fuzz. So he's got all these distortion pedals. If he wants to go the lower end of the spectrum and do the lower gain overdrive, if he went the tube screamer route, he'd have to then have another 4 tube screamers. So his drive and distortion section would be huge. And there's only a few songs he uses the SD-1. So I can imagine instead of having 4 tube screamers, he just wants the one pedal that does that. And that's where the SD-1 comes in. So from what I've seen anyway. he cares more about the distortion and fuzz side than saturating his overdrive section. And don't forget, he's got his preamps as well. You know, the SD-1 chorus, the Moog filters, they've all got preamps as well, pushing the signal. So he only needs the one overdrive pedal. And the tube screamers aren't that overdrivey unless you stack them a few. This SD-1 does it. Yeah, it's got plenty more drive. And it's not too much, you can dial it back. So for those delicate solos, like in It's Only Natural, and he's got the intro to, what's that one called? Da, 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 da. Here Ever After, that's the one. So when he's got songs like that, or a chorus where he needs a slight bit of overdrive, I can see why he uses the SD-1. And since I've been playing it, I've also liked the sound. I mean, let's be honest, the SD-1 has its own sound. It doesn't sound like a tube screamer. Same as the DS2, that has its own sound. There aren't pedals that sound like a DS2. So, anyway, that's enough waffle about the SD-1. I totally love it. I get why John uses one, and I think I could do with one. I mean, my pedal board looks great with it on. It's a good looking pedal. Just 3 switches as well, 3 toggle knobs, whatever they're called. Nice and simple. Yeah, level and gain and tone if you need it. So yeah, so to end this video, we're gonna play you out with It's Only Natural. I'm gonna play along. It's gonna be the whole song. And for the solo sections, you'll hear me first click on the SD-1, and then for the second solo, it'll just be the SD-1 again, and then for the outro solo, it's gonna be SD-1, DS2, and maybe the Fux Fuzz as well, if I want to go overboard. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you like this outro. That's my video on the SD-1 and my whole, how do you call it, Frusciante time. Yeah, I might make something called Frusciante time, I don't know. Like a little segment. Okay, it's Frusciante time now. Like Santa. Anyway, so thank you very much and goodbye. Should